Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something absolutely fundamental in personal finance, building that emergency fund. We're not just skimming the surface, though. We really want to dig into a clear, step-by-step roadmap that actually works.
And it's urgent, isn't it? The stats are, frankly, a bit shocking. Most people don't have even $1,000 saved. Think about that. One unexpected car repair, one medical bill, and boom, you're potentially sliding into debt.
Exactly. That one event can just derail everything. So let's start right at the beginning. Step one, the why. We call it a safety net, but what's it really protecting us from?
Well, fundamentally, it protects you from debt. That's the core function. See, without that cash buffer, where do you turn? High-interest credit cards, loans, you might even dip into retirement funds, which is a whole other problem. So that $800 car repair suddenly becomes a much bigger, much longer-term financial headache. This fund stops that escalation. It prevents the unexpected from becoming a crisis.
Okay, framing it as debt prevention is powerful, makes it feel less like saving and more like, well, self-defense. So step two then is figuring out the target. How much? Everyone hears two numbers usually.
That's right. You've got the starter goal, which is usually $1,000. Just get something in place, break that cycle we mentioned. But the real long-term goal, that's aiming for 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses.
Right, and that's where it gets a bit more complex, doesn't it? 3 versus 6 months. If your expenses are, say, $2,000 a month, that's the difference between needing $6,000 and $12,000. That's a huge gap.
It is, and the key insight here is tailoring it to your situation, your personal risk. If you have a super stable job, maybe in a high-demand field, 3 months might genuinely be enough cushion if you lost it. But if you're a freelancer or maybe work in a field with really long hiring times, you absolutely need to shoot for that 6-month mark. It's about realistically assessing your income stability.
That makes so much sense. It's not just a generic number. Okay, so you've set your goal. Now, step 3, where does this money actually live? Because it definitely can't just sit in your everyday checking account. Right?
No, absolutely not. It needs its own space. Separation is key, the best place. Overwhelmingly, a high-yield savings account, an HYSA. It's safe, it's liquid, meaning you can get the cash quickly when you need it without penalties, and yes, it earns a bit of interest, but just as importantly, having it separate reduces that temptation. To just spend it on something else.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Mostly. Which leads perfectly into step 4, making the saving happen consistently. How do we do that?
Automation. Treat it like a bill, a non-negotiable bill you pay to your future self. Set up an automatic transfer from your check into that HYSA every single payday. Even if it feels small at first, maybe $25, $50, $100, it adds up surprisingly fast. That consistency is what builds momentum.
Okay, automate it like a bill. Love that.
Yeah.
Now, what about speeding things up? Acceleration strategies? Step 5 sounds like tightening the belt.
Temporarily, yes. Step 5 is about finding ways to boost your savings rate for a short period. Take a hard look at things like subscriptions you don't use much, how often you eat out, those little impulse buys. Think of this. If you can find just $5 a day to redirect, that's $150 a month. Over a year, that's $1,800. It's significant. Small cuts, big impact.
Wow, $5 a day really adds up. Okay, and step 6 is about those occasional windfalls, like a tax refund or a bonus.
Exactly. Extra income. Instead of just absorbing it into your regular spending, be intentional. The strong recommendation is commit at least half of that windfall straight into your emergency fund. Do it first before you even think about spending the rest. It's a huge boost, and it doesn't disrupt the regular saving habit you've already built.
Allocate first, spend second. Got it. So finally, step 7, protecting the fund once you've built it. What are the rules?
Strict rules. This money is only for true emergencies. We're talking job loss, unexpected major medical bills, essential car repairs so you can get to work. It is absolutely not for vacations, a down payment on something fun, or because there's sale on. And critically, if you do have to use some of it, your absolute top financial priority becomes rebuilding it back to your target amount. Immediately refocus.
Okay, that discipline is crucial. So wrapping up, building this fund, it's definitely a journey, not an overnight thing. But even hitting that first $500 or $1,000 puts you in a much stronger position than so many people.
It really does. It buys you breathing room. It buys you peace of mind. You're essentially reducing future stress for yourself. That resilience is invaluable.
So think about it. Start today. Stay consistent, even if it's small. What unexpected event are you preparing yourself to handle down the road? That foresight, that preparation, that's the real takeaway.